A rematch that could shake up the boxing world. In just 25 days, the boxing world will witness one of the most highly anticipated rematches in recent history as Dmitry Bivol steps into the ring once again to face the undisputed light heavyweight champion, Artur Beterbiev. Their first clash was a battle of skill versus power, with Bivol trying to outmaneuver the relentless knockout artist, only to fall short as Beterbiev imposed his will in the later rounds. Now, Bivol is determined to rewrite the script, vowing to throw more punches and avoid the mistakes that cost him the last fight. But the question remains, can he survive the storm when Beterbiev inevitably turns up the pressure, or will history repeat itself with another crushing defeat? Bivol's last shot at greatness or another Beterbiev destruction? This isn't just a fight, it's a battle for redemption, legacy, and survival in the ruthless world of professional boxing. For Dmitry Bivol, a second loss to Beterbiev could mean fading into the shadows, missing out on future mega fights, and watching younger stars like David Benavidez and David Morrell take the spotlight. But if he wins, it could set the stage for a historic trilogy or even a super fight against Canelo Alvarez. On the other hand, Artur Beterbiev isn't coming to play games at 39 years old. He knows his time at the top is limited, and another dominant win would cement him as one of the greatest light heavyweights of all time. With both men carrying everything to lose and everything to prove, this rematch is guaranteed to deliver fireworks from the opening bell. Dmitry Bivol is gearing up for one of the biggest fights of his career, a highly anticipated rematch against Artur Beterbiev on February 22 ND in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. This fight is crucial for Bivol, as he is determined to correct the mistakes he made in their previous encounter. Looking back at their last bout on October 12, Bivol acknowledges that he was too cautious, focusing too much on defense rather than attacking. He believes that his reluctance to throw punches allowed Beterbiev to gain momentum and take control of the fight. This time, he promises to be more aggressive and let his hands go, hoping to change the outcome and reclaim victory. At the start of their last fight, Bivol was actually doing well, using his speed and technical skills to land quick jabs and two-punch combinations against the slower-moving Beterbiev. His strategy seemed to be working until Beterbiev made a crucial adjustment. Instead of trying to avoid Bivol's punches, Beterbiev walked straight through them, absorbing shots without hesitation and relentlessly pressuring Bivol. This forced Bivol to stay on the defensive, backing away instead of fighting back. He later admitted that his cautious approach allowed Beterbiev to dominate, and he is determined not to repeat the same mistake in their rematch. Despite the disappointing loss, Bivol is not letting it hold him back. Speaking to Fight Hub TV, he shared his mindset going into the rematch, emphasizing that he refuses to dwell on the past. Instead of feeling sorry for himself, he is focused on improving and moving forward. "I don't have time to feel sorry for myself. It happened. Let's close that chapter and move on." While he admits to being frustrated and angry about the loss, Bivol is using that frustration as motivation. Rather than letting it negatively affect him, he is channeling his emotions into training harder and refining his strategy. He understands that if the fight goes the full 12 rounds, he needs to dominate decisively so that there is no doubt in the judges' minds about the winner. His goal is to leave no room for debate. He wants to be so convincing that the judges have no choice but to give him the victory. One of the biggest challenges Bivol faces is whether he can truly change his natural fighting style. Throughout his career, Bivol has relied on a defensive, calculated approach, prioritizing movement and counterpunching rather than aggressive exchanges. Suddenly shifting to a more offensive style at age 34 will not be easy. While he might start the fight with more intensity, many experts question whether he can maintain that aggression once Beterbiev starts applying serious pressure. Beterbiev is known for his relentless forward movement and devastating power. If Bivol engages too much, he risks taking serious damage. Self-preservation is natural, and Bivol may instinctively revert to his usual defensive style rather than risk getting caught with Beterbiev's power punches. This is a major concern because, in their first fight, the moment Bivol tried to stand and trade, he paid the price. Reflecting on their first fight, Bivol admitted that there were moments where he realized he wasn't doing enough. He recognized that some rounds slipped away from him because he was being too passive. "Some rounds, I felt I wasn't doing enough. I rested, but in the next round, I had to be better." I need to throw more punches and not just defend with my guard. I should use other strategies. However, throwing more punches comes with risks. The last time he attempted to be more aggressive in round 7, he was staggered by a powerful right-hand counter from Beterbiev. That moment changed everything. After getting hurt, Bivol shifted into survival mode, focusing on defense rather than trying to win. For the final 5 rounds, he spent more time moving and avoiding exchanges than actively fighting back. This is why many question whether he can truly change his approach in the rematch. With so much on the line, the boxing world is eagerly watching this fight, not just to see if Bivol can avenge his loss, but also to determine what happens next in the division. A recent fight poster shared by Turki El Sheikh on social media has sparked speculation that the winner of Bivol vs Beterbiev 2 might not get a third fight, but instead could face the winner of David Benavidez vs David Morrell. This news is significant because many fans find Bivol's style less entertaining compared to more aggressive fighters like Benavidez and Morrell. If Bivol loses again, it is likely that the rivalry with Beterbiev will come to an end, and a fresh challenger will step up for a title shot. However, even if Bivol wins, many fans and analysts believe it would still be more exciting to see new matchups rather than running back another Bivol vs Beterbiev fight. The stakes couldn't be higher for Bivol. He must not only win, but he also needs to deliver an exciting performance if he wants to secure bigger fights in the future. With just 25 days until fight night, the pressure is on. Can Bivol successfully adjust his strategy and defeat Beterbiev? Or will history repeat itself, with Beterbiev's power once again proving too much for him? One thing is certain, fight fans are in for an electrifying showdown on February 22 ND. Bivol's training and tactical adjustments. To prepare for this high-stakes rematch, Dmitry Bivol has been making key adjustments in his training camp. He and his team understand that simply repeating the same game plan from the first fight won't be enough to defeat Artur Beterbiev. Bivol has been working on increasing his punch output, improving his inside fighting, and finding ways to stay active without leaving himself open to Beterbiev's devastating counters. One of the biggest lessons Bivol learned from their previous encounter is that he cannot afford to stay in a defensive shell for too long. While his movement and defensive skills are among the best in the division, being too passive allowed Beterbiev to dictate the pace of the fight. This time around, Bivol plans to engage more, throw in volume, and avoid long periods of inactivity that could give Beterbiev the upper hand. However, this also puts him at risk of being caught by one of Beterbiev's signature power shots, making this rematch a dangerous test of both skill and strategy. While Bivol is working on his adjustments, Artur Beterbiev remains a nightmare opponent for any fighter. At 39 years old, Beterbiev has shown no signs of slowing down and continues to be one of the most feared punchers in the sport. His unrelenting forward pressure, iron chin, and fight-ending power make him extremely dangerous, especially for a fighter like Bivol, who prefers a technical, movement-based approach. Beterbiev's ability to absorb punches and keep pushing forward is one of his greatest strengths. Against Bivol in their first fight, he showed that he was willing to take shots in order to land his own. If Bivol wants to win the rematch, he will need to find ways to land effectively while avoiding prolonged exchanges. The challenge for Bivol is whether he can be more aggressive without getting reckless, as Beterbiev only needs one mistake to turn the fight in his favor. A second loss to Beterbiev could be a major setback for Dmitry Bivol's career. While he remains one of the top light heavyweight fighters in the world, back-to-back losses to the same opponent would make it difficult for him to get another title shot anytime soon. With younger, exciting fighters like David Benavidez and David Morrell emerging as serious contenders, Bivol could find himself being pushed out of the spotlight. Boxing is a sport that heavily favors momentum and star power. If Bivol fails to deliver a standout performance, there's a good chance that the division will move on without him. He would need to rebuild his position, possibly by facing other top contenders and proving that he still belongs among the elite. This adds even more pressure to his rematch with Beterbiev. He isn't just fighting for a belt, he's fighting for his future. As the countdown to this match continues, the excitement surrounding Bivol vs Beterbiev 2 continues to grow. Fans and analysts are eager to see if Bivol can make the necessary adjustments, or if Beterbiev will once again impose his will and prove why he is undisputed. This rematch isn't just about redemption, it's about legacy. If Bivol wins, he could set up even bigger fights, possibly unifying the division or facing Canelo Alvarez in a mega fight. If he loses, it could mark the end of his run at the top. With so much on the line, both fighters will be stepping into the ring with everything to prove, making this one of the most must-watch fights of the year.